Right, all I'm saying is if we don't give Furina a hug or comfort her during the story quest, I'm gonna be disappointed. She needs it.
Hey, Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps?
Also, hello, Catherine. Paimon, I'm just saying, we currently do have 22 million more, like, in savings. I'm pretty sure we are fine. You didn't have to be so direct.
Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now, she gets it.
Fair enough, innit?
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again.
Sick.
Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open.
Buzzin'?
Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
Something to do with Furina, I'm guessing?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues, and is currently unable to perform the role.
I can think of one, but I don't want to suggest it to her, mainly because she's had, she's finally gotten a break after 500 years, so maybe not the best choice?
But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
That seems like a them problem.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
Alright, let's put Paimon there, and we go see Furina, and then we have a nice chat.
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job.
Avoided
There
by
are
everyone.
only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Oh no.
Got it.
What a
This one's
disaster.
a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas?
I only have one, and that's it.
Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
Yeah, well, we've had no experience with doing anything else in this game, and then somehow we have perfected it. Like, we had no experience of being an attorney, but we still did that, and we did it pretty well. That is true.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe
Hello.
you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Guess we can go over to Liyue and get Yunjin. That's the only other option.
Oh, it's that guy, huh?
Huh?
No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
I was about to say, do we know him? We'll go talk to him.
Paimon approves, let's go.
Alright. NPC number 1.
Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
So,
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
whoa, my guy, you can't be jumping the gun like that, no.
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already.
Paimon, we're famous everywhere.
But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see.
Wait.
It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot.
I mean, we don't have any experience in musicals, but we have acted before, right? In the summer event?
If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame.
Disaster. Can't you cover the budget for a new actress with ticket fees?
That's the thing. We're not some
suggestion.
high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts.
Ah, that's probably why no one wants to take the job then.
All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Shame.
And you're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe.
Like, I definitely see where this is going, but hopefully we do get to have a chat with Furina and, you know, have a meaningful conversation with her, like, actually comfort her. Because it's obvious Furina's gonna play the actress.
One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it.
I mean, getting someone that played the part of a god to play a part in your play, that's one way to make it famous. Catherine mentioned that one of your actresses can't make it.
Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood.
Classic.
And unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform.
God, she got like Elazar or something? What's going on here? Is it back?
The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Alright.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas.
Honestly, I think the Traveler or Paimon can easily have a crack at it. We've had a lot of experience acting throughout all of the story, so mainly in Sumeru, but you know, you get what I mean.
What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
Look, I am not sponsoring some random NPCs, Paimon. Although I do have more to spare, I am not wasting it.
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good, because I wasn't actually going to give it to you. Mora isn't the biggest problem. How do we find someone who's a good fit for the role?
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who?
Look, guys, truth be told, I'm pretty sure we're all thinking of Furina, but anyone with a drop of humanity would think, oh yeah, maybe it's not the best to ask someone that's been torturing themselves for 500 years of playing a role to then go up to them and be like, oh, you want to play another role? That might trigger some sort of PTSD. Great minds think alike. I was just thinking that.
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now.
Come on, guys. Can you not see the problem with this?
She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
This is so messed up.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Furina.
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Hopefully, because if not, damn, these two are heartless.
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
Paimon, her entire life was performing on a stage. Yes, she knows how to perform.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, she was more of a celebrity than an Archon, so not much has changed.
She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
Hey, you want the show to go ahead, don't you? Are you prepared to do whatever it takes?
Well, yes, but...
Then who cares?
Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Furina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too.
I mean, look, if Furina agrees to it, fair play to her, but I feel like she might be a bit conflicted.
I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her.
I mean, she wouldn't, because now she's living her life as a normal human. She's vibing.
And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Yeah, which is actually something I realized when I was leveling her up. She sounds a lot more, like, shy and confused. But yeah, she's a lot more tame. But yeah, let's go. It'll be good to check in on her anyway.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Alright.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays? She used
Who
to live
knows?
in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
Yep.
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
You just give that out? I feel like that's a breach of privacy. Oh, you want to know where this person lives? Yeah, alright. There you go.
Woo! When did you get here?
Sup, Catherine?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed.
MVP
It is
like
my
always.
duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
Yeah, see you guys later. I'm so sorry for this, Furina. The little Oceanid. Like, maybe I am, like, thinking too much of it, but I feel like asking someone that's put on a play for 500 years might cause a bit of trauma if you just suddenly ask her to perform in another.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here?
Bro, she's living as a normal human.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
Look, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to be in the spotlight as much anymore, Paimon.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
See what I mean? She seems a lot more toned down.
Ah! Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I mean, that was kind of on us, though, for not checking.
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags.
God,
I
so
used
cute,
to
dude.
have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Oh, God, I just want to give her a hug. But yeah, she also did cut off the tendrils. Oh, they came off when everyone was turned into real humans. Don't you get sick of macarons every day?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
I mean, fair play to you.
Sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
Is it because you have to do all of your own cooking now?
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity!
Hey, no, Furina, I'm with you. My cooking skills are awful.
It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house.
Oh.
So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
I mean, staying cooped up is not a good sign. You don't want to dig yourself into that hole.
Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no
What?
time, if I felt so inclined.
What were those?
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace.
I just want to give you a hug. Like, that is literally all I asked for. I'll just talk things out.
Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
I can cook something for you.
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad!
Paimon was just showing concern for your well-being. Actually, never mind, both of you are not, because you came to her... Okay, won't get into that. Your well-being.
Yeah, exactly! What the Traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you.
Really?
Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
That's not important. We actually came to ask you for your help.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
So she hasn't gotten her vision yet, so that means she's gonna get it in this Starry quest then. Because I thought she was gonna get it at end with the Archon quest, but it makes sense it's gonna be here.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Yeah, you know that you played an act for 500 years? Do you want to take part in another? I know it caused you to mentally break down, but, you know, if not you, then no one.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific?
I'm actually terrified to say. I feel bad if we say this. You tell Furina about the troops planning for its final performance.
I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances,
There you go.
I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
Yeah, she needs time for healing. Like, that is the most obvious thing in the entire world.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
Paimon, did your mind shut off once Neuvillette told you everything that happened? How is this shocking to you?
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage.
Fair enough.
Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me.
Yeah.
Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was.
Come on, just give her a hug, please, or just sit down and have a nice conversation.
Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
So, that's how you really feel.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Jesus, Paimon. What is wrong with you? Just read the room for like 2 seconds, please.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross.
It's fair.
If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place.
Again, I feel like she does get enjoyment out of doing plays, but again, she needs time to heal.
So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Fair play.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare.
It sucks to suck. I mean, we can always just go to a different region and pick someone up. I'm sure they'll be fine with it.
Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Oh, well, there you go.
Short and to the point. Okay.
Yep, easy enough to understand.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me.
Oh, well, that isn't true. Neuvillette, as much as, you know, he is how he is, does care for you. But it also makes sense why she's not able to maintain relationships because, you know, it's the fear of, oh, if I get too close to someone, they might find out. You can start now.
Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
Yeah, but you shouldn't assume the worst of people.
True, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Ooh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
I mean, yeah, Fez.
Is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would.
Again, I don't know why Paimon is finding it so hard to understand why she wouldn't be comfortable with taking this.
Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh.
Reasonable.
I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
Take her on a walk. Cook her some food, man. Do anything.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed.
So what? I could not care less. Let's try come up with a plan B.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. All right, then. We'll see you around, Furina.
Alright, not gonna comfort her? Nope, okay.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
A quick hug? Please? Ah. Damn, what terrible friends. Actual terrible friends.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision.
Yeah.
Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Who would have guessed? Oh. What's going on over here?
What's going on? Are they arguing?
I'm up for some drama. What's going on?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent?
Ah.
When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
Ah, so that's what's happening. Oh, mate, you've done messed up.
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
You know what? Good friends, though. But you should still tell her.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Yeah, that's fair. What's up, Catherine?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform.
Well, that's a lie, innit?
Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
So,
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
she has trauma. No.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all.
Yeah, that actress is gonna fall on stage. I'm just saying.
You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Well, that's an obvious lie, though, isn't it?
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Imagine if we managed to convince Furina to join, only for her to find out she's no longer needed. I would feel so bad beyond, like, belief. That would hurt me on an emotional level. Deeply. I'm so glad that wasn't the case.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
I don't think we would. I think she would just be depressed.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Oh, well, there you go. They're spreading bad rumors now, guys. Well done.
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh?
Hopefully, no. Let's go comfort Furina.
Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
I certainly wasn't.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you.
I mean, I get why she's, like, pretending that she's okay, but it's just gonna cause more problems down the road, innit?
So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Look me in the eyes. Can you do this?
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day.
Oh, you don't even know the side effects? Anything that might happen in a few days? You never know.
I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So, the last thing I want is to be left out.
Fontaine's music is a vibe.
Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
Yep.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
Paimon, wait here for a second. Yeah, we get to leave Paimon behind. Let's go.
Sure.
See ya. Ah. Hello, Furina. Whoa.
Hey, how did you...
Whoa.
I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list.
Alright, did we really need to drag her arm? Feel like this was a bit too aggressive.
All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me.
Drag her on out into the open. I feel so bad for her.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
I just feel bad.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
It's obvious she was lying.
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all.
We know she still cares for her people. Even though she's no longer the Archon, I still refer to them as her people.
When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things.
Strongly reasonable worded things, though.
And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down.
I think it was an appropriate response. You had these two that knew of your situation, and then you had Paimon that kept pushing the matter onto you even after you said no. Like, Furina's in the right.
I'm sorry, Paimon.
Don't apologize to Paimon! Jesus! No!
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
Then why didn't you just show yourself? Come on, please, both of you.
You really have a knack for asking the most
Yeah.
uncomfortable questions, don't you?
I don't know what's happened to the Traveler, but it feels like they've just lost their humanity. Like, they just no longer care for anyone.
I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me.
And there you go. Do need to work on your hiding skills first, though.
But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah, only until she collapses before the show even starts.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine.
Hey, people still think very highly of you. Because Furina definitely knows how to put on a play.
I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband?
Yeah,
If
that.
the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance.
Oh yeah, work part-time.
Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
Or just do some weekly requests from, like, the board. I'm pretty sure characters give you, like, 30k more if, like, delivering 5 apples.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control.
Never say never,
Everything's
man.
been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
But what happened to her?
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
Tying back to that.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice.
That whole situation is just messed up in the first place.
But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
Okay.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater.
Oh, that's cute.
She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us.
Damn, what a Chad. I mean, Furina could play the part of a director, right? Like, with how much experience she's had, at least then she isn't in the spotlight, nor on stage.
People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart.
I mean, if you lose the main person that brought you all together and managed you, moment they're gone, trying to keep everything together is pretty much impossible.
It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
You know what? I can respect that, though.
Oh.
That's so sad.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken.
But yeah, Fontaine has not shied away from just eliminating NPCs left, right, and center. Like, I'm still heartbroken about Malus and Silver. Man, those two were goated.
I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
And I just realized as well, Furina put on her final performance as well, so she can relate to that part.
Well, good thing I followed the Traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Aw. But yeah, I feel like she is gonna direct it.
Furina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself.
That's good.
Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway.
What's obviously gonna happen is she's gonna direct it, and then the actress is gonna keel over because she was pretending that she's alright, and then Furina's gonna have to take her place.
I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Nice.
Most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
That's
We
awesome.
unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
That's
I
fine.
don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
I mean, we've seen that with Neuvillette. A verdict can bring emotional catharsis. Probably butchering that. They come pouring out and flow away into infinity.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and
Aw.
slowly settle with the passage of time.
That's a good answer, though.
Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before. And so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
You know what? I can respect it. And this is also a good way of, like, getting her not to go into the habit of locking herself away and just letting her life dull.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
Paimon, please.
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
I mean, it is obvious she does like acting, like I said before, but there's still a little bit of trauma there.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
New nickname.
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
I'm fine with that. Since it's you, I'll do it.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are.
I mean, the performance she put on her character demo was, it kind of slapped.
All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
Don't worry, mate. I'm sure it's average. Wait, this is where you're rehearsing? Yeah, it's definitely on the smaller side. Oh, it's a lot bigger inside. Okay.
Huh? Lady Furina?
What's up?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Whoa.
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant.
I can already tell by that title it's gonna get emotional.
These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They
So-
kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
Yeah, guys, can we not talk about it? Like, she honestly thought she was gonna die there?
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice.
Oh, that.
We can't thank you enough.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the other trial. Apologies.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Kinda fitting with Furina.
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director.
This is gonna hit in the feels, innit?
One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Let's go out with a bang then.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, finding an actress was the least of your problems.
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about.
Guys, I'm just saying, you need to have a script first before you actually have the actors. Where did this light come from?
The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family.
Okay.
She longed to live just like any other human. And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect.
It's obvious why Furina is going to be involved in this now.
But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
Well, that sounds quite similar to another person we know.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
It's not finished, because Furina's story's not finished.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script.
That's actually a very interesting way of showing that. Fair play. I respect that.
We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
Hopefully a happy ending.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction.
So basically, happy wholesome ending or heartbreaking. I think we've had enough of that in Fontaine, so I'll rather go with the happy, thank you very much.
But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
It's also very fair.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own.
Essentially just trauma dumping in a different way.
And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from 2 of our main actors.
God, you guys have so many issues.
The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Yeah, don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but he might have perished.
The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since.
Fair enough.
He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since.
Oof.
So we're not really sure what to make of that.
It's like the worst case scenario. Oh yeah, I'll be there, and then they just totally ghost you. Ugh.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
That is definitely a place that we need to start.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
A party.
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
It is cute though, because now Furina's seeing that people still care about her, even though she's lost her position.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Adorable.
Oh, stop. You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way.
It's nice to see her slowly coming back.
I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing.
Yeah, I think anyone would in this situation.
But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Let's get it.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending.
Let's see if he's
He went
alive.
back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
Okay, well, good thing he didn't go back like a few weeks, because if he did, he might have actually been gone.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson.
Ah. God damn it, guys. Is something wrong? Okay, the Traveler is actually really starting to annoy me. Along with Paimon. Like, this quest alone has frustrated me beyond belief. Is there something wrong?
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show.
Man,
So, allons-y. Tout passons!
she's still gonna be feeling very guilty about it, even though she was doing everything she can. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, guys, you need to repair this bridge, like, first things first. This is a disaster waiting to happen. You've got kids here. So,
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
I'm just saying, knocking on these doors is gonna be very echoey, and it's gonna be painful. Ow!
It's me. Is the script ready?
Or, you know, you could start off with saying, hello, it's me. How are you feeling? Have you been alright? I don't know. Does everyone just like basic friendship? Understanding? What's going on here?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Why did you start with that?
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely his fault, like, 100%.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you? Here you go, this is how you should do it. Knock on the door. Hey, it's me. I just wanted to come here to check if you're feeling alright. If you don't mind, do you want to come outside? We've got the whole troupe and we're planning to get everyone together again. And we've got a special guest. Much better way to do that. I'm just saying.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
Shocker, but also a terrible way of going about it.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
Oh, another person I want to hug. Hello, Navia.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
Yeah, the guilt.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Fair play, very quick.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Oh, what?
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll.
Okay, fair enough. At least she can read the room.
Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Group hug? I don't know.
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
Oh, I feel so bad for everyone, man.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet?
I mean, it's definitely a difficult thing to, like, turn away from.
We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Navia is such a great character as well. Just giving out all the wisdom.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
Yeah, I mean, again, she needs some time to heal. It's not something that can just be easily forgotten.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe.
I mean, that makes sense as well, and not everyone knows the full story, so... Like, from their point of view, she didn't take action when, in reality, she was doing everything she could, so... I can understand that.
To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress, playing the role of Furina.
MVP Navia, man. Also, Furina, go away, you're already here.
It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
But thank you for doing that.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me.
And you're doing an amazing job. But I also just want to hug you because I still feel very bad for you.
Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Got it, Navia. Thank you.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there.
So goated, dude.
I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Nice. I mean, Neuvillette as well could be considered a friend, but he's more of a father figure, right? Hopefully this doesn't go bad. I'm kind of nervous now. Everyone's looking. Oh no, can we leave?
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her.
Yeah, but if there's a character that caught me completely off guard, is Navia. Like, once Act 2 of the Archon quest was finished, she just skyrocketed on my, favorite characters list. Unfortunately, I feel like the situation is gonna take a turn for the worse.
It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yes, Paimon. Oh my god.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here.
That's reasonable.
Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past.
I mean, I can respect that. I'm just saying, if any of those NPCs come up and just start talking, it's going down.
I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me. Which, of course, I completely understand and accept.
I just hope it doesn't get to her, though. I'm sure some people didn't buy Navia's lie.
Yeah, I can tell people are watching me.
Oh yeah, the stares and then the gossip. Oh, that's like the worst.
I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydra Archon as extremely disrespectful.
Bro, can you at least try to hide that you're not staring?
I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes.
It's good to know she's in the stage of accepting. Because this is what she needs to go through to actually, to be able to live her life happily again.
I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
Give us a hug option, please. I'll get Monsieur Neuvillette over here.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
But yeah, maybe you've taken a bit too much in one go. Especially when everything has just happened as well.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
I mean, if you take on too much at once, you're just going to get overwhelmed. And then you're just going to fall back into a pit. You need to take things step by step, even if it is slow.
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Okay, can we at least get her out of here? They're not staying quiet either.
Probably time we made a move.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
How about we check out Spina di Rosula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool ship as well.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
Hey, look, I'm honestly fine with just listening. You definitely need a release.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Well, it's nice to see her, real self,
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet.
But we ain't going anytime soon.
I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind.
I mean, yeah, she had to deal with that fear for 500 years. Even after the prophecy is fulfilled, that is still gonna haunt you.
One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm.
I mean, hopefully at the end of this, we do just get the ultimate revenge on Celestia.
And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true.
And then she's also dealing with all that guilt as well.
But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You're only doing your duty.
But yeah, she did do everything within her power to, you know, save everyone. But still, setting that, like, expectation on people and not fulfilling that, even though you're doing everything you can, it's still gonna harm you.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne.
Man, Fontaina's just being a constant slap in the feels.
Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves.
Whoa, don't put yourself down. You're the real MVP out of everyone here.
Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom.
Again, the only reason any of this was able to happen was because of you.
But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
I think she needs to realize as well, there's still a lot of people that, you know, look up to her and respect her.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Think of your freedom as your reward.
A reward?
But yeah, now because you're free, you can finally speak your heart. You don't have to be anguished and alone anymore.
I guess so.
And look, you've got the Traveler, you got Paimon, even though they've been quite concerning this story quest, but besides that, she's got Neuvillette as well. I do just feel like Furina doesn't actually know how much Neuvillette cares for her, especially after he learned about everything.
And back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing a secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
But at least now she can start at, you know, developing the relationships she already has. Again, rather that be with the Traveler or Neuvillette.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Alright, please, Paimon.
Could you please get off my case?
Yeah, I have no idea what's wrong with her.
I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
Yeah, what Paimon meant to say was she doesn't like to see you so down. Do you feel better having gotten all of this off your chest?
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now...
An issue a lot of people have. Just small steps.
At least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
I'm glad we got a moment with Furina.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
That's what I was hoping for.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Hey, but they kinda slap though, I'm not gonna lie.
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food.
Hey, I've gotta say, if you pass on free food, you're a maniac.
Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good looking. That's your job.
Okay, dude.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
I mean, that's fair, but it's going both ways. He cares about your health when you're pushing yourself, when you're clearly ill, and then she cares about his health. You're both as bad as each other, pretty much.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again.
What's up, guys? We're back.
We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Yeah, stop bickering like couples.
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead.
Fair enough to you, lad.
Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Hopefully.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
Oh, like her
He was
family.
originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role.
Whoa.
Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
Kind of rubbed salt in those wounds, didn't you?
sorry.
Alright.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
Oh, there you go. Wholesome role.
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid.
Alright, let's hear it. Go away, Scaramouche.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Ah.
You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Oh, it is just a reflection of her character. So the Boris Fossilor then. Her divinity self.
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
Bro, it's been sounding familiar the moment we was talking about this play.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
That's correct.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore.
Wow, what assholes.
I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time.
So pretty much this is all like found family again. Which, if you don't know, is probably like one of my favorite things.
It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes.
Awesome.
She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
Man, it would have been nice if we was able to meet her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
Yeah, just complete MVP.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't
Jesus.
around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage.
Man, everyone in Fontaine just has a depressing life. Or had a depressing life.
The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer."
Oof.
It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it.
Man, kids are the real demons, man.
One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
So I'm guessing everyone in this troupe just has immense amount of trauma. Or had a terrible life up until joining.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
Actual angel, dude.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Alright, Paul, mate, you didn't have to ruin the mood.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
What's up, Paul?
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down.
Fanboy.
Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script.
Alright, let's see if it's any good.
I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human, against the wishes of her family.
I don't know if we're stretching here, but it could be the case that family here is Celestia.
She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic.
Oh yeah, because the Oceanids all, like, control the water and that, so... They probably did it out with spite.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it, and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Yep, the Oceanids. Once again, the problem is the humans.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Yep, it is correct.
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis.
Okay, good so far.
Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret.
Oh yes, the classic-looking villain. Quite interesting.
The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
Yeah, classic humans.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Yeah, well that just ties into Furina, doesn't it? Fully.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Just a caring person, innit?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
That's fair.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me.
Alright, let's hear it.
You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world.
But yeah, you guys are gonna have to sort this out. Do you want to trauma dump onto the audience, or do you actually want to have an happy ending, or tragic happy ending?
If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
Jesus! I think you have some problems of your own, mate.
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me.
Yeah.
And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
Yeah, bro, you're just trauma dumping on the audience in a different way.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless.
Yeah, that is not a way you send someone off.
On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city.
Huh.
We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace.
And the fact that it's like that, it was that quick to disappear.
We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seem to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
That must be so heartbreaking, though.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
Yeah, because Vacher was an absolute madman.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
But how would she know, though?
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Unless she knew about Vacher, like, trying to, I don't know, blackmail her or threaten her to get her alone.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Okay, I don't know if this is what's going to happen here, but it's the fact that he's playing the villain. He was affected the most. Did he play a part in her disappearing? And that's why he's the one most overwhelmed with grief. Because he feels immensely guilty about it.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me.
Okay, let's not make it a competition. This is like the easiest way to break up a friend group.
Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aurelie.
Okay, drop in that bomb.
What? You kept that one quiet.
That's quite the bomb to drop on everyone, to be honest.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel.
That's fair, though.
I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her.
I was about to say.
And she never considered us as potential romantic partners.
Family zoned him.
Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her.
Yeah, fair enough. At least he was able to accept it.
I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life.
So my man Paul was playing the long game.
And now, that day will never come.
Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aurelie. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
Nah, I see where he's coming from.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Villemont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Oh, let's get everyone together. That's where we should start.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Villemont.
That's
Are
good.
you ready to face the truth?
Honestly,
That's
I'm
ominous.
slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes.
Alright, let's get it.
Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I mean, she's literally going through the same thing at the minute.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y.
Hello, Z's. What's up?
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage and...
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Ah,
Ugh, as if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
damn it, the Hydro.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the Traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
Hopefully not. She is a human, guys. We need to remember this.
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Bro, she doesn't have a vision.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
I forgot. everyone doesn't actually know the full story. My bad.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway.
It does kind of hurt to see that nervousness back, though. Like, there's still a bit of that act that she feels like she needs to play.
As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
Hey, don't worry, it's only a few slimes. We can handle it.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Alright, Furina, I'll play along.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Alright, maybe once she gets her vision, you can see that.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
That's fine.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Yep.
Bravo!
There we
Good
go.
show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Yo, this is where he's living?
Vilma, are you there?
I mean, fair play to him, I guess.
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
What's up?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
Dolphy explains the whole sequence of events so
So-
far.
You think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I care just as much as everyone else about making the little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show.
What kind of information are you withholding, my guy? Did you play a part into why she disappeared?
If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us.
I think he did.
We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
I feel like he might have been part of one of Fashay's accomplices.
Fiamma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone.
If we're going down that
Unless
dark
you mean to
route.
suggest that Aureli's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, dude.
Listen, Fiamma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone.
I'm just saying, we're probably going to see a fight if he did play a part in her disappearance.
But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one.
Okay, dude.
As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough.
Okay.
We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire.
So he accidentally played a part in her disappearance. So yeah, he was probably working under Vache, and he was getting paid for it, and he didn't actually know what he was doing.
So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win. So, I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Yep. Come on, dude. Yeah, pretty much just drugging everyone.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Mm-hmm. I remember that it induces a state of euphoria, but it also causes significant harm to the body.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well.
So that's why she made everyone go to safety, because she went to go investigate.
But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration.
That was like the worst possible thing you could have done, but she didn't know.
The merchant was furious. berated us for going back on our word and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault.
It was basically just an easy grab from that point on.
Things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
And so you brought the director to the attention of the synth dealers. Your mistake gave them a motion to kidnap and murder her.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
I mean, again, it's not his fault. I mean, at least he didn't do it intentionally. That would have been, like, the worst case scenario.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, Paul isn't gonna take this well, is he?
What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her!
Nah. My guy, you're talking about a guy that had access to primordial water. He can dissolve you all within seconds.
How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
But my guy, he literally did what the director would have wanted him to do, which would keep you all safe.
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now?
Still need to apologize, though. You can't just brush it under the rug.
I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
That's just the easy way out, though.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face again.
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you!
Meanwhile, at least we've laid out all the truth. And now we can somehow start making repairs.
Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
Putting out some valid points.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe.
I think at this point I can consider Furina my favorite Archon. She's so good.
But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating.
I do hope they show us what the director looked like. I mean, she's probably just gonna have a, like, you know, the classic NPC design, but just give her, like, a unique accessory or something.
I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already?
Fair point.
After everything she did for you?
God, those words of wisdom coming out.
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other.
Furina is an amazing role model. I'm just gonna say it now.
If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured?
There you go.
But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director O'Reilly and the home she built you all to let go.
Yeah?
What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again.
Oh, that's sweet.
If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
So cute, dude.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
But yeah, normally the gentle people are the ones that are most terrifying.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
Damn, okay.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I mean, the only one that you should be blaming is Vache at end of the day.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
I mean, that's what happens when you keep all your problems to yourself. They can easily overwhelm you.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
Mm-hmm.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Furina, maybe?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
It might actually be possible to find out more about her fate. Don't think you want to bring up that word around Furina, to be honest.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims.
That we did?
If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
Shouldn't be hard.
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on O'Reilly's true feelings.
I mean, she probably did jot down her final idea somewhere, so it's probably there in her possessions.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Alright.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
There you go. Look at that. Furina is playing such a good role in the story, man. I'm liking the direction like they put her character into. But that also means that we're gonna meet Monsieur again, hopefully. Hello, Sidine.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now.
I mean, we want to use it for reasons.
Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application.
Thank you.
Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
Thank you, Sidine. Sidine sends a staff member to receive the box of pearls.
This is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person, and this tattered old notebook.
Probably contains the last part of the script, though.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches, too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped.
Most likely is going to be the case.
Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see.
It's like she knew she was going to pass.
Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women.
I mean, it sucks that we didn't find this during the trial.
If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vache's guilt.
I mean, I guess there wasn't enough time to go through all the possessions of the victims.
Vache took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
Like, I feel sorry for him for his loss, but the moment he started, you know, sacrificing people, he lost my pity.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators.
And even after being captured, what an MVP.
Wait, it cuts off.
Is something wrong?
Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left.
Oh, that's sad.
Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
How depressing is this gonna be? Someone else was taken. That makes 6. Or perhaps the 7th? Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She hasn't been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. I've long since lost track of time. Sorry, I don't know if writing this is of any use, or how much longer I can do this for. I can certainly see my fate approaching, but what terrifies me even more is the thought of seeing others from the troop here. Have I truly protected them? Sorry. I'm so sorry. I can write no more. I think I have a fever and my old stomach troubles have returned. But nobody has given me any medicine. I suppose I am more fortunate than seriously. The pain keeps her awake all night. I suppose they think anything goes so long as the experimental subjects can be used up before they die. It is so damp here. I have given her my blanket. So cold. So cold. So cold. As long as one persists, all things will pass. There will be a reward for hard work. I like to tell them such things. But it is I who I am losing my grip. If anyone sees this troop safe, I, them important, please, farewell, apologize. Life, perform, future, regret, Celio. This page is an absolute mess, and the writer's pen seems to have wandered its surface at random. Only some words can be made out, and barely at that. From this page onwards, the diary stops, to be replaced with lyrics from musicals. Some are in the forms of newspaper clippings, others are handwritten with many crossings out and changes. It is apparent that the pages have been referenced often, and that this was the personal notebook of the artist-director, Urieli. Holy, it's the same type of notes we saw in the Risley story quest. It is just depressing.
She was so terrified.
And then she also ties back into Furina keeping up that act to like give everyone hope, while she herself was suffering. She watched a girl get dissolved right in front of her and had to wait for her own death in silence. Jesus.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human.
Yeah, just like you.
I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been.
So yeah, she is just the reflection of Furina.
Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Oh? Flipping through the notebook, the lyrics continue. However, one page has been torn out, folded up, and placed next to the last blank page. At the bottom of the folded note are 2 new lines Urieli has written, in handwriting much more legible than before. But it seems like they took her both great effort and great deal of time to write. If you become human, you can reveal your secrets to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want? Because I am an older sister to them, and I love them. Oh, that hit.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this still what you want?
Yeah, I mean, this all just ties back to how Furina was.
Isn't that the most important line in the little Oceanid?
Mm-hmm.
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come.
What an individual.
I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
Yeah, it's only fair. It would have been nice if we were able to see Monsieur. After reading through the notebook, some are lost for words, some weep bitterly, and some grind their teeth and howl with rage. A long time passes before the group is able to calmly come together and finally make a decision.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
I mean, that's the only thing she does deserve anyway.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself.
Again, yeah, that's pretty much all what Furina was doing as well.
We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, Do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director.
I mean, at least he was able to stand up to it.
I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Fair play to you.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Look at that, Furina doing God's work.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
They've all connected.
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing.
That would be?
If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance.
I mean, if what does happen and the actress does, you know, fall ill, and Furina has to take her part, that means we get to hear Furina sing, right? That'll be fun.
And aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world?
I guess so.
I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then,
doing
let's
her
not
best.
delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal.
The floor is
During
yours.
the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
But then...
I mean, putting her name out there for everyone to know.
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her.
I think that's fair, though, just putting her name out there.
Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Makes sense.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe.
I respect that decision, though.
All right. I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Let's get it.
Procure a stage?
We're gonna make it look presentable, Paimon.
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Hey, she's got the connections, might as well make use of it.
Whoa, wait, what?
If you're going out with a bang, you might as well take it.
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
Hey, you said it yourself. You want to make this have an impact, don't you?
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, that's not what I meant.
Well then, go take it, mate.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Yeah, go big or go home.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you?
I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't disagree with it. It's being offered to you.
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Buzzin', let's get it then.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too.
I'm glad she can joke again.
Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Neuvillette. I know just where to find him.
So we are gonna get a conversation with him. Let's get it. Monsieur Neuvillette.
Hey,
Oh, there he is.
Look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
That you did.
You were just guessing?
Hey, she knows him best. Alright, let's see it.
I knew you'd be here.
Hello, Neuvillette. It's good to see him again, though.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, Traveler and Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would say it's been about 2 days, but you know, it is what it is.
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
You shared the story of the little Oceanid with Neuvillette along with the
understand.
backstory.
The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult.
Yeah, we have the best connections, alright?
The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage.
This is gonna be
I will
cute,
say,
though.
however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Again, she does enjoy performing, but, you know, there was a very heavy wound that was inflicted upon that.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
You're most certainly motivated.
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
Aww.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are.
But I am happy, though, for her.
In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one.
I like this side to her, though.
Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom. But I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
And not only that, she cares for them as well. I mean, she's going out of her way to help anyone that needs it.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life.
Aww.
Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
I think that might be a bit too much.
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
I don't know, returning might still be a bit of a long-term goal, you know? Definitely gonna have to work up to it.
Well, if the little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire.
That is fair.
The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions.
But I can also see where she's coming from with, drawing a line.
Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission.
I mean, even if she just starts out as directing, and then if she's able to build enough courage to re-enter, so be it.
I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not.
I love these two's relationship so much. It's so wholesome.
I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thank you, Monsieur.
Thanks, Neuvillette.
Great like always.
You are very welcome.
Give us a good old smile.
Many people were once enthralled by Lady Furina's performances, myself included.
Wow.
I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
Yeah. I think she'll understand that soon, though. I mean, with this troupe alone, they've been constantly, singing her praise. And now the fact that she's gone out of her way to help them, and she's brought them all back together, they're just gonna have a more deeper respect for her. Oh, alright, random chest. That also means she should be getting her vision sometime soon as well.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked.
We used our connections.
Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance.
Very impassioned indeed.
We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance.
Alright, I want everyone to be on their top performance.
A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
Let's see it.
This is truly wonderful.
Again, I still feel like she's gonna collapse, and then Furina's gonna have to tune in.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse.
Because that's the only reason that she will actually go and perform.
Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Alright.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Alright. Making progress.
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
That only means disaster is gonna strike.
It's amazing! Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
Hey, to be honest, she knows how to hype everyone up. I'm really looking forward to the final production.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Alright, don't wear yourself out too much. Ah. Oh yeah, the blue hair. Got any like contacts to like make the eyes appear glowy?
Accursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
How dare she?
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Yeah, the most reasonable option indeed.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Woo! Bravo! I don't know if that's the end of it. No, it's not. I don't think. No. You good?
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time.
But I feel like her condition is starting to catch up to her, though.
If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Probably ill.
Why? Why does it have to be now?
We saw it coming from a mile away.
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now.
Yep, so it seems like Furina's gonna have to play the part.
Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
I bet she never took new meds.
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I mean, she did say it was incurable.
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
I don't know, but also taking high dosage of new medication doesn't seem like a great idea either.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
Yeah, you're both hypocrites.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Furina? I'd
There
like
it
to
is.
make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Damn, she's quick on it.
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Nice.
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale.
Yo, let's go. We're actually gonna get Furina singing? Hell yeah.
From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
I know, but this time you don't have the fear of people finding out who you truly are.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep.
Fez.
No one likes regrets, myself included.
This is gonna hit in the feels, isn't it? And this is where she's gonna get her vision.
Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
Nice.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director.
From what we've seen, the director and Furina are literally like the same people at this point. Like, they both sacrifice so much.
What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
This is just a personal question.
It's her pure heart.
Mm-hmm.
Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
There you go, and you just have to apply that to yourself. You also did the same.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Hopefully Furina can see that, though. Alright, let's see it. Break a leg. Come on. Probably gonna have like anxiety though, right? Come on, Furina. Oh, cutscene.
Is she here yet?
Must she get here?
Oh, the music.
Coming. You're wrong. She's here.
All right. God, I love it when cutscenes look like this. Damn! Was that the whale? Oh, Oceanid. Oh. That is gorgeous, though.
But what about your wish?
My
So...
wish?
Oh, there. Piece it together. Come on, Furina. What do you want?
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness.
It's her story.
Is this truly what you want?
Oh. That is beautiful. Top tier music, dude. Gone. Can we? Oh, there's the vision. She got it though. Bravo. Oh. Those vocals, man. So good. Well played.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
You only just realized? Whoever sung that part, just props. That was beautiful.
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
Yeah.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
So, is the vision currently under her hat? Because that's what it showed at end of the cutscene there.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice.
I don't think it was healthy to make it a rule, But making it a line that she shouldn't cross just yet, I think would have been like a better kind of approach to it. But I can see why she made it like a rule.
Still, I have to admit that, despite everything,
Did you have fun?
it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Yeah, that's what she needed.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Oh, well, there you go. The spotlight has been fully put on you now.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Yeah, maybe should have got her consent on that first.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
Oh,
She's back.
all right.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
I also do agree.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged.
At the same time, people have boundaries, you know?
After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
I do feel her though on that part.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
At most, you might be asked to sign a few autographs later.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
That's a good sign. Throwing some banter around.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack.
What, the vision?
Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
There you go.
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, it fits really well on her as well.
I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's
Oh,
doing.
yeah. Forgot about her.
Let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went.
Imagine if it just takes a huge dark turn out of nowhere.
If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Good work, guys. Yeah, because there's still a big thing about how visions are given out. Because it's not actually the Archons that do it, so there's definitely a set requirement. Well, for certain visions, anyway. Okay, wait, I'm looking at the visions, right? Is Furina's different? Stop moving around. So yeah, there's Risley's vision. And then Furina has, like, bite marks on it. Well, not bite, like claws on it. Unless the visions are given out by the dragons. Again, there's probably an answer for this. If that is the case, then Neuvillette gave Furina her vision. Huh. Interesting, though, if that is the case.
You're back.
Hello, you two. What's up?
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
That's fair.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
That they did. No, you don't have to worry about that.
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage! You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning!
We won't tell you here because that'll spoil the fun. I think she can probably see what happened.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
I see why she did it, though.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition.
That it does.
Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
And if everything did go well, then it's possible that your troupe might not break up, as long as you don't want it to.
Well, one way or another, we did it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Glad things worked out in the end.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Also, the man brings up some fair points.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
And anyway, like I said before, these two are just both hypocrites.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, dude. You're playing that card?
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
Sure, yeah, let's go with that. It's one way of showing love.
So, any plans for the next step?
Hmm?
After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to.
Yeah, that's a fair point, but then on the other side, you have, like, they did want to go out with, like, a massive performance.
You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
But would they want that?
No, we should still disband.
Bears.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Don't run away.
Hey,
No?
don't just walk off.
Doesn't feel like he belongs there. Call out to him?
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe.
Fair play.
After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Take care of yourself for, I don't know, maybe a year. See what that does. Take it in small steps.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well.
Look at that. Wholesome relationship.
What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
This is what I'm interested in.
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go until I finally acquiesce.
But I feel like as long as she can enjoy the roles that she's playing, that's perfectly fine. As long as it's giving her enjoyment in life, that's all that's important.
You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I'd previously imagined.
She loves the act.
Maybe Neuvillette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me.
It's literally point you. It was pretty much a role that was made for you.
I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
Yeah, there's no need to draw lines in the sand. Just do whatever feels right to you.
Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth.
You no longer have to do that.
But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them.
I know, that's something I can get behind though.
I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling.
She can start living her life happily.
The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
And yeah, hopefully next time I'll invite you to join me.
Then it's a deal.
On an adventure we go.
If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Which can't be the case because the Hydro Archon doesn't exist anymore. But I feel like it is the Dragon Sovereigns that give out the visions. Maybe? The little Oceanid quest completed.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, It actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands.
I mean, you've got the power to do stuff now. Because I think it was confirmed by... Was it A or Yaimiko? I think, no, it was A, that she didn't actually give out, like, electro visions. So that means someone else did it. I don't know, that was a long time ago, though, so I'm probably remembering that wrong.
Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Alright, and that completes Furina's story quest. I mean, just seeing the similarities between Furina and the director, like, I think that was, like, a very unique way of showing Furina's story, but also, you know, the director's. Tying the end of the play into, like, Furina's, like, wishes and how she wants to go about her life from now on. You know what? Round of applause. I really like that. I like how they expressed it. But that cutscene at the end with the vocals was, again, so beautiful. Hit directly in the feels. I really like how Furina's character was written, like with her act, the whole 500 years, how she's going about her life now. I would be interested to see another story quest with Neuvillette and Furina in it. That would just be amazing. But I feel like if we're going to be getting anything along the lines of that, it's going to probably be in the future, way down the line. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, and if you don't want to miss any future reactions to Genshin Impact content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you then.